On the sheik's face was a look more fierce than that of a desert hawk, and when he spoke, his words were as sharp as a scimitar. What's a scimitar? You can infer from the context, but it tells us down here at the bottom. A scimitar is an an Asian sword with a curved cutting edge. So it's, it's curved, and I'm sure you've seen it in movies, the curved sword. So his words were as sharp as a sword. I have forbidden my son's name to be said, and I promised punishment to whoever disobeyed my command. So shall it be. Before the sun sets and the moon casts its first shadow on the sand, you will be gone from this oasis, never to return. No, cried Nadia, hearing her father's words. I have spoken, roared the sheik. It shall be done. Trembling, the shepherd went to gather his possessions, and the rest of the clan looked at one another uneasily and muttered among themselves. In the hours that followed, fear of being banished to the desert made everyone turn away from Nadia as she tried to tell them of Hamed and the things he had done and said. So, where before they were scared, but then when nothing happened, they started listening and enjoying it, now the fact that this one shepherd is going to be banished or kicked out and never allowed to come back makes them all scared, right? They don't want to hear it now. And the less she was listened to, the less she was able to recall Hamed's face and voice. And the less she recalled, the more her temper raged within her, destroying the peace she had found. So remember in the beginning, she was angry and upset and everybody didn't want to be around her. But the more she talked about him, the better she felt until she finally had peace. And now no one wants to listen to her anymore, so she isn't able to talk about him, so that anger and bitterness is coming back. By evening, she could stand it no longer. She went to where her father sat, staring into the desert, and stood before him. You will not rob me of my brother Hamed, she cried, stamping her feet. I will not let you. Tariq looked at her, his eyes colder than the desert night. But before he could utter a word, Nadia spoke again. Can you recall Hamed's face? Can you still hear his voice? Tariq started in surprise, and his answer seemed to come unbidden to his lips. No, I cannot. Day after day I have sat in this spot where I last saw Hamed, trying to remember the look, the sound, the happiness that was my beloved son. But I cannot. And he wept. Nadia's tone became gentle. There is a way, honored father, she said. Listen. And she began to speak of Hamed. She told of walks she and Hamed had taken and of the talks they had had. She told how he had taught her games, told her tales, and calmed her when she was angry. She told many things that she remembered, some happy and some sad. And when she was done with the telling, she said gently, Can you not recall him now, father? Can you not see his face? Can you not hear his voice? Tariq nodded through his tears, and for the first time since Hamed had been gone, he smiled. Now you see, Nadia said, her tone more gentle than the softest of the desert breezes. There is a way that Hamed can be with us still. The sheik pondered what Nadia had said, and after a long time he spoke, and the sharpness was gone from his voice. Tell my people to come before me, Nadia, he said. I have something to say to them. When all were assembled, Tariq said, "From this day forward, let my daughter Nadia be known not as willful, but as wise. And let her name be praised in every tent, for she has given me back my beloved son." Now, how in the world did she give him back his beloved son, when indeed his son is dead? She didn't really give him back, did she? She gave back the memory. She helped him remember. And why does he say she's wise and not willful anymore? Because without her, he might never have figured out that talking about his son was the best way to help him remember him, right? And so it was. The shepherd returned to his flock. Kindness and graciousness returned to the oasis, and Nadia's name was praised in every tent. And Hamed lived again in the hearts of all who remembered him. So that's our story, and we will stop for today. There will be an assignment posted for Tuesday, and you will have Tuesday and Wednesday to work on it. I am going to also post like pictures of the story pages so that you can go back and actually like read them yourself. I will take pictures of them for folks who don't have their books at home. Okay, and you can use them with the assignment. The assignment will be page 357, but I will write it out on a Google document for everyone. You are to complete it online and then submit it by Wednesday. So please keep checking your Google Docs and your Google Classroom for assignments, and read the directions before you begin your assignment.